Percy runs away. When Thomas the Tank Engine was given his own branch line, there was only Edward who would do the shunting for the big engines. Edward liked shunting and playing with freight cars, but the others would not help him. They say that shunting was not a job for important tender engines, it was a job for common tank engines. Sir Topham Hatt was very cross. He kept them in the shed and said that they could only come out when they stopped being naughty. Then he sent for Thomas to come and help Edward run the line for a few days. Henry, James, and Gordon were in the shed for several days. They were very miserable and longed to be let out. At last Sir Topham Hatt arrived. "Oh, I hope you are sorry," he said sternly, "and understand that every job on the railway is important." Then he told them that he had a surprise for them. "We have a new tank engine called Percy. He is a small little green engine with 4 wheels. Percy has helped to pull the coaches, and Thomas and Edward have worked the main line very nicely while you have been away." "But I will let you all now if you promise to work hard," he said. "Yes, sir," said the 3 engines, "we will." "That's right," said Sir Topham Hatt, "but please remember that this no shunting nonsense must stop." Sir Topham Hatt then told Thomas, Edward, and Percy that they can go and play on the branch line for a few days. They ran off happy to find Annie and Clarabel at the junction. Annie and Clarabel were Thomas's 2 coaches, and they were very pleased to see Thomas back again. Edward and Percy played with the freight cars. "Stop, stop, stop," screamed the cars as they were pushed into their proper sidings, but the 2 engines laughed and went on shunting until the cars were in the right places. Next, Edward took some cars to the quarry. Percy was left alone, but he didn't mind a bit. He liked watching the trains and being cheeky to the other engines. "Hurry, hurry, hurry," he would call, and they got very cross. After a great deal of shunting on the Thomas's branch line, Percy was waiting for the signalman to set the switch so he can get back to the yard. He was eager to work, but he was being rather careless and was not paying attention. Edward had told Percy about the signals on the main line. "Be careful on the main line," he warned. "Whistle to the signalman to let him know that you are there." But Percy forgot all about Edward's warning. He didn't remember the whistle, and the big signalman forgot he was there. Percy waited and waited. The switch was still against him, so he couldn't move. Then he looked along the main line. "Beep, beep," he whistled in horror. "Peep, peep," he whistled again, for rushing straight towards him was Gordon with the express. Percy turned on full steam and shouted for Percy to go back, but Percy's wheels wouldn't turn quickly enough, and Gordon couldn't stop. Percy waited for the crash. The driver and fireman jumped out. "Oh!" groaned Gordon. "Get out of my way!" Percy opened his eyes. Gordon had stopped with Percy's buffers for just a few inches from his own. But Percy had begun to move backwards. "I won't stay here. I'll run away," he puffed. He went straight through Edward Station. He was so frightened that he ran right up Gordon's Hill without stopping. After that he was tired, but he couldn't stop. Percy had no driver to shut off steam and put on his brakes. "I shall have to run until my wheels wear out," panted Percy. Oh dear, I want to stop, he puffed. The man in the signal box saw that Percy was in trouble, so he kindly set the switch. Percy puffed wheeling into a nice empty siding. He was too tired to care where he went. I want to stop, he puffed. "I have stopped," he said thankfully. "Shh," he gasped as he ended up in the big bank of earth. "Never mind, Percy," said the workman as they dug him out. "You shall have a drink and some coal, and then you feel better." Gordon had arrived. "Well done, Percy. You started so quickly that you stopped a nasty accident." "I'm sorry I was cheeky," said Percy. "You were clever to stop." Then Gordon helped to pull Percy out from the bank. Now Percy helps with the coaches in the yard. He is still cheeky because he is that sort of engine, but he is always very careful when he goes on the main line. The end.